Welcome to Simple and Clean, a Kingdom Hearts podcast. I'm Mayanna Berrin.
And I'm Mischa Stanton.
And Mischa, how do you feel about ducks?
I love ducks.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. What kind of duck's your favorite duck?
I mean, love a classic mallard. I went to school in Boston, right across the street from Boston Common and the public garden, and there were a flock of ducks that used to hang out right near the docks, and I loved being a little delinquent and hanging out in the docks late at night, and I really vibed with those ducks because you could look in their eyes and just tell that those ducks, they did not give any fucks.
Because they were specifically like university adjacent ducks who will never not be fed for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, exactly. They're just living the best life.
I think about that a lot with like animals who choose. It's kind of like how allegedly cats chose to become domesticated. Mm-hmm. Like there are some animals who are like, we're not fucking leaving this school. Yeah. Like, why would we? That would be crazy.
Everything's great here.
We're done. Yeah. Solid, knocked it out.
So I love a duck. Also, I'm a big fan of the Marble League. Shout out Yella's Marble Runs.
Oh.
And my team of choice is the Green Ducks.
Oh
quack,
my
quack.
God, yes! So, that's okay.
Big duck fan over here.
Big duck fan. Okay, then follow-up question. How do you feel about Mr. Donald Duck?
Oh, you mean the most powerful sorcerer in the universe?
Literally
I love
the most canonically powerful sorcerer in the Square Enix pantheon, besides like maybe one other one. I can't remember. There's like 3 mages in all of Square Enix lore that can cast Zettaflare, and Donald Duck is one of them.
Donald Duck is like the dark opposite of Mickey Mouse. Like where Mickey is always like happy and positive and always like has a smile on his face, Donald is like the perpetual curmudgeon.
Yeah.
And it lets Disney in their like, you know, classic core of characters like tell slightly richer stories than just like Mickey's smiling, he's gonna get one over on Pete, how's he gonna get out of this one?
Yeah.
Like Donald gets to react to things where Mickey just has to be Mickey, you know?
That is a really great observation. That is one thing that I discovered in my little research as well. Donald is okay, so I mean there's like a technical correct answer to this, but like the capital D Disney characters, the cartoon Disney characters. Yeah. Like, what would you say are like the main like 5 or 6?
Mickey, Donald, Goofy, Minnie, Daisy,
and Pluto. Usually
Pluto,
that's like the main kind of cast.
Pete is in there usually.
Pete's like the bad guy, yeah. And then Clarabelle sometimes.
If they need to also have Goofy have like a love interest or something.
Exactly.
Because they're both tall and lanky.
They're tall and lanky. You know, we don't need to talk about science on this show. And then sometimes Huey, Dewey, and Louie, especially if DuckTales is the thing you're talking about.
I would say the very core 5, Mickey, Donald, Goofy, Daisy, Minnie.
100%. It's kind of a bummer that Goofy doesn't have like a mainline female companion.
Yeah.
Like Clarabelle is again like an occasional appearance.
Well, that's okay because Goofy's the only one who has a son.
You're right. Goofy is a capital F father. What's interesting too is like one of the things that I was looking at, especially in like the newer DuckTales animated series,
which I love, by the way.
It's my friend Tori, who may be guesting on the show at some point soon to talk specifically about shipping and fan fiction, perhaps.
All right.
She worked on DuckTales, the new one.
Hell yeah.
And it's such a fun show. Like if you're in the market for like a fun, funny animated show with a really star-studded comedy cast and David Tennant playing Scrooge McDuck.
And like good adventure for kids that also has like some ongoing mysteries a la Gravity Falls. Like if you miss Gravity Falls, DuckTales 2017 is a really good
It's a really good solid one. And the animation, like the art style is great. Anyway, we got Donald Duck. One of the 3 trio, Sora, Donald, Goofy, exclusively in that order.
Yep.
Second in the lineup, Donald Duck. Some might think, why are we talking about Donald Duck when we could be talking about other characters like Axel or Marluxia or Naminé or other things? But you know what? Donald's in a lot of the games.
He's there. He's present the whole time.
He's literally one of your 3 main party members.
Yeah.
He's in almost every significant fight you experience in the majority of the video games.
And now, is he always doing what I want him to be doing in those fights?
Mostly of the time, no.
No.
So yeah, God
damn it, dude, heal me.
Exactly. Instead, he's going to do thunder, scream, and get knocked unconscious again.
Damn it.
So tell me a little bit, Mischa, as from the game standpoint, or just like, how do you feel about Donald as you're like one of your party members?
That's how I feel about him. Is that like I'm better at this as an adult now that I'm replaying, and now that I'm like a quote unquote Kingdom Hearts expert or
Hell
whatever.
Yeah.
But like
a title we gave ourselves, to be clear.
Yeah.
To be clear, there is not an official registration, but if there was one,
we'd definitely submit.
We'd
our
submit.
application.
We'd take the test.
So, you know, like now I know that I have to go into the settings and I have to make sure I set up Donald's AI moves correctly so that he'll do the optimal thing that I want during combat.
Yes.
When I was 14, playing Kingdom Hearts 2 for the first time, man, I didn't know why he wouldn't just heal me.
Yeah.
I'm dying.
Yeah,
and he
constantly.
has heals. Just heal me, damn it.
Yeah.
What are you even here for, man?
I agree. It doesn't make much sense, does it? But I think it like Donald is it's just hard to take him seriously. It really and in general, I am not, or I wasn't for a long time. I did not have what I would call spellcaster empathy.
Really?
Yeah, I was a really big up close combat person.
Oh.
If I had the option between long range and short range, I would always pick short range. Like if I had a class growing up, it would be fighter.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I have always been aligned with the caster, generally.
Tell me about that.
I think, can I tell you where I think it comes from?
Please.
I think it comes from, so I'm disabled. I'm very fragile. I have a condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It gives me glass bones and paper skin, and every morning I break my legs, and every night I break my arms.
It's funny because you joke about it, but that is literally what happens.
No, I don't break my arms and legs.
No.
I do have paper skin
Yes.
and somewhat glass bones.
Yes, you do.
So I've always been a frail kid, even though I don't really look it. When I was growing up, I read a book series called Dragonlance. Are you familiar?
No.
Dragonlance is a book series that was published by Wizards of the Coast in the 80s and 90s. It was basically a fantasy author's like D&D party and like the ongoing adventures of this setting and world. And it was like a party of 9 or 10 characters and like in an ensemble in the first books.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Did they ever bring any of that stuff over to like D&D?
Oh yeah, there's modules and everything.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I have a 3.5 Dragonlance campaign setting book I'm going to show you before we leave today.
Wow.
So the character in that, you know, the expansive party, and they're all different classes. Like you can go back and look at it, like the leader's a ranger, there's a fighter, there's a barbarian, there's a druid, there's a cleric, whatever. I was always really interested. I always like identified with the wizard, Raistlin Najir. And he canonically is chronically ill because he like sacrificed of his body to gain magic power.
Whoa.
In the first 3 books, he's like sort of just like the mage of the party. He later goes on to like travel back in time to the Cataclysm and gain a master wizard's power and becomes like the most powerful wizard of all time.
Hell yeah.
But the entire time he's like gaining this phenomenal cosmic power. He's like coughing up blood the entire time. He's like physically frail.
The cost.
Yes, in contrast to the amount of power he wields. Like if you punched him, he would go down.
Glass
always.
cannon vibes.
Yes.
Wow.
And like after the first 3 books, there were spin-offs all about Raistlin's rise to power and like followed specifically him. Those were my favorites of the series. I really aligned with this guy that like used the power of his mind to gain power his body could not contain.
That's incredible.
So I've always been caster focused, which makes me kind of sad that like the fact that Donald is the caster, like when you go up to someone and say Kingdom Hearts, what they say to discredit you is, oh, that one where Donald Duck's a wizard? You see, I say that and you crack up because that's the absurd part of Kingdom Hearts is that you're doing all this stuff and also Donald Duck is there and he's a wizard.
That's so funny. And I remember too, because when we were talking in the first episode, we are like, well, Kingdom Hearts can't be that complicated because Donald Duck is there.
We did it too.
Dang. All right. Well, should.
And I knew we were going to talk about it as soon as we came around to Donald.
Yeah. So. No, that's valid. I think like, so for me, Donald is one of those things that like I don't really give much thought, frankly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I think that like
in Kingdom Hearts or just in general?
In Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, yeah.
And it could be for me, I'm so in on what it's doing that like to me, like I make the flippant joke like, oh, Donald Duck's here, it can't be that complicated. But like I've bought in to the idea that like the Disney worlds exist. Donald is a part of that. It's funny, Donald kind of occupies the Sora role in that Donald is all in on Mickey. Donald adores the king.
Yeah.
And will constantly drop whatever he's doing to go and service the king. Like he's the one who's sort of more so active on the we gotta find Mickey quest. Goofy is there in support of that because he's a knight, but it's like really Donald.
That's true.
Yeah.
Goofy's about doing good for the world, and when he realizes that Sora is that, no matter if he's supposed to be the Keyblade wielder or not, Goofy's the one who comes around, but Donald really is the one that's like, oh yeah, Sora, whatever your quest, we'll use you to find the king, though.
Donald's all about rules, at least in the Kingdom Hearts iteration of himself.
Interesting.
Which makes sense, which is why he would be sort of aligned with the mage role. Because if you think about the way that Donald and Goofy are characterized, Donald should be the tank and Goofy should be support.
Yeah, you would imagine that Donald would be the guy constantly like rage berserking out and hitting things.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He doesn't. And I don't know why.
That's interesting. I've never thought about that before. It never occurred to me.
I love making Mischa say I've never thought about that before. That's one of my favorite things to do. Yeah, so that's kind of the top level stuff with Donald. For me, I feel like Donald, and I have forever in my brain now Oscar's way of Donald. Like Donald is kind of a little bit of a schemer.
Yeah.
He's locked in on his specific thing he's doing, and Goofy and Sora by extension are just like the vehicles by which he needs to do his job, which is to find King Mickey.
Right. But the narrative frames that as always like, but Donald, he forgot to be a good person. You know, like it's never rewarding Donald for thinking that way.
No, it doesn't. And I think that that's interesting. So let's talk a little bit top level about Donald as a character.
Tell me some stuff about Donald Duck.
Okay. According to Wikipedia, Donald Duck, Donald Fauntleroy Duck. That's his middle name.
Fauntleroy?
Fauntleroy. Or Fauntleroy, as I like to say, was originally first appeared in 1934. Yeah. That's a long time to exist.
Yeah.
He'll be 100 in 9 years.
Ooh, boy. Ooh, yeah.
He's 91 years old.
And he'll be copyrighted by the Disney Corporation for a while after that, still.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, because Mickey is public domain.
Steamboat Willie is public domain.
Steamboat Willie is public domain. So the Wise Little Hen specifically will be public domain.
Yep.
But yeah, he's been around for a long time. He was created by Dick Lundy and Walt Disney. He's been voiced by 3 different people in the States. Clarence Nash, Tony Anselmo, who's been the voice of Donald since 1985. And then Daniel Ross in Roadster Racers. just one for a treat. Just one for a little treat. But yeah, like what's interesting is that he is, of the core 5 that we've talked about, pretty much the only one that exhibits a predominantly negative emotion.
Yeah.
Goofy's clumsy but well-meaning.
Yes. Mickey is
earnest and good-hearted.
Yep. And like a little bit of a prankster, but only to like balance the scales of justice.
Yeah, 100%. And I will say Mickey and all of them by extension have recently gotten kind of a new extra flavor skin slapped on top of them, which is the new animated shorts.
Yes.
Which is like, basically, I would say like the Disney spin on SpongeBob.
Yeah, they really injected like a level of chaos into that canon.
They really did.
I love those.
I love it too. And they crank like specifically like Mickey's obsession with Minnie up to 11. They're like obsessed with each other in this adorably over the top way.
There's one where they're at like a wishing well and like Minnie trips over something and Mickey's like, oh no, and he bounces over and he goes, what happened? And I say that all the time.
That is incredible. And so one of the other things that's really interesting about Donald is extremely popular in Japan.
Interesting.
Like Disney Japan, they'll have Donald specific like holidays and celebrations and different things like that. And I Googled it. I was like, why is Donald so popular in Japan
what's up
specifically?
with that?
There's a couple things. Allegedly, the voice actor for Donald in Japan is just a very celebrated voice actor.
Okay.
So that's part of it. But the other thing is he has one of the most distinct personalities of the core Disney characters. I would say it's probably a similar thing to like a Gretzko, who's another. Yeah. I would also say it's like I'm not a big fan of like screamo music. Mm-hmm. And I have a couple friends who are really into screamo music. And those people are really mild-mannered. You would never catch them screaming.
Right.
But they love seeing the other people screaming. And I think Donald is a really nice avatar for people who can't get there. I think that Donald presents a nice avatar for people who maybe aren't the most expressive.
Yeah, it's like, aren't you tired of being contained? Don't you just want to go duck shit?
Don't you want to just be free?
Yeah.
Don't go duck shit.
Thanks.
Well, it's also funny too because one of the prevalent, I think, animal motifs for ducks that I've heard a lot is like the metaphor of like a duck seems to float above the water, but he's paddling really desperately underneath. And it's usually like presented as like kind of like a mental health proverb almost of like, you may see somebody who seems like they're doing okay, but they're like hanging on by a thread and they're like kicking and just trying to stay afloat.
The width that Mayanna's eyes just achieved.
Sorry, I'm caught on 4K because I'm the duck. That's my duck.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a big part of it. And so I think it's also at a certain point, it's like kind of like its own feedback loop where like Donald becomes adored. There's all of these unique events in Disney Japan around Donald, and then Donald becomes beloved partially because there's so much exposure of Donald.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's wild. So what's the comparison? Do you know what the comparison between like how revered Mickey is versus Donald in Japan?
I don't know like if there's a percentage, but it's like the amount of merchandising, the amount of like there's like specific Donald like cupcakes and like the merchandising for Donald I think is on like another level.
Okay.
Also, one of the really fun things in Japan, and I was very, very fortunate in my life to be able to go, was Tokyo Disney Sea, which is probably one of the most well-designed theme parks in the world. It was not a Disney theme park. It was a third-party theme park designing company that licensed the Disney IP.
Ooh.
It is all nautical themed. Donald dresses like a sailor.
He's a sailor.
So I think that there was probably even more so like some sort of synergy there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that reinforces itself as well. That's
100%.
interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's just a fun little fact. Oh, also in early development when they were trying to figure out like, hey, we're making this Kingdom Hearts game. We're in Japan. Disney Japan, I believe, kind of put forward like, and we think Donald will be the main character.
Whoa, what?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's a different video game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I think Namura or Square Enix at a certain point was like, well, Mickey will be the main character. And then Namura was like, I really want a human boy to be the main character.
And he was right.
He was right. No, he was so right for that. But yeah, like Disney Japan, I think was like, yeah, and Donald's the main character.
Wild.
Could you imagine?
So the only thing I can imagine at this moment is Riku standing on a platform in Hollow Bastion. Dramatic close-up, dark, piano themes playing in the background. And he goes, we've always been rivals, haven't we? And the camera cuts to Donald Duck holding a Keyblade. And he goes, shut up! And that's crazy to me.
Wow.
I know that's not how it would have been. They would have made different characters and done different things.
100%.
But the idea of just one-for-one swapping Sora out for Donald is crazy.
Oh, yeah. I think for a myriad of reasons, it was a really good choice that Donald was not the protagonist. But it's interesting to think about that because also, have you ever played the Epic Mickey games?
No, I haven't. But because I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan, I have been interested in them.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, they're fine games. But it's
I heard
kind
the
of
remaster was really good.
Yeah, I also heard the remaster was really good. But it's a similar thing where like Mickey is the protagonist of those games, and there's like a magical paintbrush, and Oswald the rabbit's the bad guy, and all this. It's all really cool, clever stuff. But I think that like what's kind of nice about obviously Donald not having been chosen to be the protagonist is I don't think that's an expansive narrative in the same way.
No, that's not a Disney as a whole, as a franchise game. That's a Donald game.
That's a Donald game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I also think it kind of nicely mirrors Donald's rivalry with Sora in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah.
Isn't that fun?
It does give like a
little Easter egg or a nod.
Yeah,
almost.
like a little side thing that could be also contribute. Yeah, like a headcanon.
100%. So we're gonna jump in just into terms of Donald's chronological appearances. But before we do that, why is Donald the mage?
Why is Donald the mage?
I don't know. Why do you, Mischa, think Donald is the mage?
Good question. I think it gives him second seat to the king.
100%. I totally see that.
In the way that, like, Mickey's the king, obviously, no question. But in that hierarchy of Disney characters, like, Mickey's number one, and you could argue about Minnie, but, like, forgetting
she's the queen.
Yes, but, like, among those core fives that we listed in the beginning, that, like, leave Minnie aside for, like, just a second, if you will, that, like, Donald is the second one.
100%.
So I think giving him the title of court magician, like, puts him on the quote-unquote small council in a way that, like, the captain of the guard feels like a little bit more subservient to the power structure of Disney Castle.
I think that totally makes sense. Additionally, magic in the concept of Disney is
magic.
Like the secondary most, like, it's wishes and then it's magic. You know what I mean? And so I think that that's a really good explanation for it, because, like, I don't necessarily know why Donald's the mage. I could see an argument for Donald's anger is a really fun conduit for something like shooting lightning bolts out of your fingers.
Yes.
More so than it is doing a tornado move with a shield.
And Goofy, canonically very clumsy.
You don't want him with a rod.
You don't want the clumsy guy with lightning powers.
No, you don't. So I guess it's like, it makes sense. So we've got Donald Duck. You know, he's, again, your secondary support character. But he also appeared in Birth by Sleep.
Wait, he did?
He did appear in Birth by Sleep.
Doing what?
He was working for Yensid, and Mickey was still training with the Keyblade.
He also trained with Yensid?
Well, like, he was there in support of Mickey's training under Yensid.
Cool.
Yeah, so, like, Donald and Goofy meet up with Ventus and also Aqua.
Okay.
They're there. Donald becomes, like, one of the mechanics in Birth by Sleep are the D-links.
Yes.
Which are, like, dimension links, I believe.
Yep.
And Donald is one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, he's there. He's chilling. But, like, think about it. Think about how crazy that is.
You know what's especially crazy to me about that?
Mm-hmm.
That means in Kingdom Hearts 1, they knew what a Keyblade was.
Oh, yeah, no, they know what Keyblades are. Like, they know fully what Keyblades are. They just needed to find the key that Mickey needed.
That's another point where, like, that
it breaks it.
Retcon breaks.
It really breaks it a lot. And also, Donald and Goofy met Ventus. Like, that's crazy.
So when Roxas shows up later,
they're like, wait a second. And I guess you could make the argument that, like, in the chain of memories, memory wipey nonsense.
Sure.
Like, I guess you could say, like, maybe that got messed around with somewhat in there.
When you got double, triple memory wipes flying every which way, who could say what gets retained where?
Who could say if we remember a guy we hung out with for, like, only a little bit? But yeah, so he's there.
Okay.
And then 10 years later, he's kind of rising the ranks as lead wizard to the king. And then Kingdom Hearts 1 happens. Yeah. And we've covered Kingdom Hearts 1. We'll touch on it as briefly as we can. The key points for Donald, of which there's maybe like 7. Donald is, again, very loyal to King Mickey. He's been given a mission, and he takes Goofy immediately, and they're like, here we go. We're on a mission to find this key that Mickey's asking about.
Chip and Dale, ready our gummy ship.
Yes, prepare the cannons. We got to change into our cool street fits. Mine's got a lot of zippers on the hat, specifically. Very fun.
Now, that's not standard Navy issue.
That's not standard Navy issue. We are way off. We are way off from standard military issue.
Gotcha.
But yeah, and then we find Sora, and Donald's like, okay, cool, this child's an idiot. I will manipulate him for my purposes. A theme that will resonate for many characters to come when they meet Sora. But yeah, basically, like, Donald and Goofy both know they need to find the Keyblade wielder. Donald's more so driven of, like, we need him to find Mickey. And Sora's like, and when we look for Mickey, we'll also look for Riku and Kairi, right? And Donald's like, for sure. And Goofy's like, you lied. And Donald's like, I know.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, man, sure, whatever you
Whatever you say, idiot child. In the early stages of the Kingdom Hearts 1 game, you know, Donald and Sora have a pretty straightforward rivalry of just disagreeing.
Yeah, and that rivalry, you're right. It is kind of about who's the main character
who's
in the
driving,
story.
who's driving the ship. As we've seen in later Kingdom Hearts games, The chair layout within the gummy ship is Sora's chair is a little further ahead than Goofy and Donald's chairs.
Yep.
I bet you if we'd gotten scenes like that in the first game, Donald's seat would definitely be the lead seat.
Well, or there definitely would have been a scene about them fighting about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, and that's kind of what happens in Deep Jungle, a world we haven't really talked about very much yet, but kind of what is maybe one of the first worlds you see. It's either like Olympus Coliseum or Deep Jungle. Donald and Sora fight over landing and then crash the gummy ship. And Sora starts out alone in the treehouse and meets Tarzan, and Donald and Goofy end up near Jane's camp for a second.
That's right.
And that's kind of like their first fight. And they kind of drop the rivalry thing. It kind of just like sort of falls off the narrative about halfway through Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah, it's like a fun little bit, but it's not like vital.
It's not vital, but it does kind of come back with Hollow Bastion. We'll talk about that in a second. But Sora, when he reunites with Donald and Goofy, is so excited, even though he's kind of just met them, but classic Sora fashion, these are my friends now. He's so excited, he like leaps into their arms like, oh my God, my friends. And then immediately Sora and Donald kind of like lock eyes, and then they like jump away from each other, cross arms, and turn in the opposite direction. And Goofy's like, this is not the vacation I signed up for. Where is my son when you need him?
Yeah.
But yeah, they kind of do this little bickering married couple thing for a couple levels. It comes mostly to a head when we return to Traverse Town again. They find Riku, and Sora's like, we got this awesome rocket. You got to see it. And Donald starts to kind of let the mask slip a little bit of like, that's not really what we're trying to do here. They get into a little tiff about like, oh, there might not be enough room in the ship for Riku. That's when Sora turns around, Riku's gone.
And Sora's like, but we built the ship. We could just make more of it.
I know. I didn't build a ship. It stayed very small.
Go into the level editor and fix it.
Exactly. Well, it's funny. I should go back and look at the Kingdom Hearts 1 manga because they do have little sequences inside the gummy ship. And I think Donald is in the front seat.
Yeah.
That would be my guess. One of the fun other random things that Donald's magic can sometimes do is turn you into a mermaid, because that's how they turn into fish in Atlantica.
Hell yeah, bro.
Pop off. Okay. I wish you could do that more.
So in later games, it's because they have magic clothing. But in Kingdom Hearts 1, Donald's doing it.
Donald's doing it specifically for Atlantica.
All right.
I don't think it's the same for Halloween Town.
Well, sure, because it's Halloween and they just went to Party City and got costumes.
Hell yeah. And it's almost Halloween at the time that we're recording this. And I sent Mischa like 9 different photos of different unique foam keyblades of like even the Lady Luck keyblade, a keyblade from Wonderland. Anyway, so there's that.
I'm thinking about dressing up as Zigbar for Halloween this year.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because I have long hair with gray streaks, and I could just get an eye patch and a dark coat.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
that's so funny. Oh my God, that's iconic.
If I do it, I'll take photos and put it up on the socials.
Please do. I don't even know if I'm going to make it to Halloween. I think I might just be fully asleep.
Valid.
It has been hey, for those of you listening to this afterwards, please buy Dispatch on Steam or the PlayStation 5 store. We worked really hard on it, and I'm so tired. And there are people who are infinitely more tired than me. But yeah, so, Donald, okay, we're stabilized, we're chilling. And then we get to Hollow Bastion, where like the plot kind of comes back in, right?
In a classic Kingdom Hearts fashion, you do a bunch of Disney stuff, and then all of a sudden the plot kicks in.
It really does seem, I think Chain of Memories did a better job of like plot, world, plot, world, plot, world. Yeah. For a lot of the other ones, it's just like plot, woo, plot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you go to Hollow Bastion, and Riku usurps Keyblade wieldership. And Donald goes, well, you know what the rules are. You gotta follow the Keyblade wielder.
Now that I know that he knew that Keyblades could be wielded by multiple people.
Yeah.
That's especially fucked up.
It's especially fucked up.
Dude, you didn't have to do that. You know the Keyblades can be multiple, and Sora could still, and you knew about, and man.
But Mischa, you forget the king told him specifically to follow the Keyblade wielder.
Ah, and if the king told him to do it.
When the king says jump, Donald says,
yeah.
But, Sora has his little kind of lost moment. They go back and see Riku now being all spooky. And then Sora has his big speech, my friends are my power. Goofy, always the mature adult in the room, defends Sora's honor as Riku sends a little shadow blast his way, and then Donald kind of has a realization of like, what am I doing? And goes and rejoins Sora, which strengthens Sora's heart back enough to get the Keyblade back, which is great. What's kind of fun is like, in terms of chronology, Goofy and Donald defy orders before Sora becomes the Keyblade wielder again.
That's
which
true.
is kind of fun. It's like a defining moment of like, we are Sora's friends, like, and that's enough.
They followed their hearts.
They follow their hearts. They let him be their guiding key. Now, a fun question that I thought of earlier today as I was preparing for this episode. How old are Donald and Goofy? Because there is like a technical answer, like how old are they if you were to put an adult age on it?
In Kingdom Hearts?
In Kingdom Hearts or just like in general, but in Kingdom Hearts?
I mean, Donald's got to be at least in his early 30s, right?
They're both in their early 30s.
Okay. Nailed it.
They don't like have like Disney's stance on it is like these characters are timeless and they don't have like actual ages, but they're in their early 30s.
Yeah, I'm kind of really what led me to that, I'll tell you straight up, is like, how old would you be if it was normal to society that you were raising your nephews that age?
100%.
You know, I really went off Huey, Dewey, and Louie for that one.
No, and that's right. Also, Donald in the Disney chronology has a canonical sister, twin sister named Della, who is Huey, Dewey, and Louie's mom, who has a wonderful role in the DuckTales animated series.
In the new DuckTales, Della Duck is awesome.
She's so cool. Anyway.
And great disabled rep, too.
Oh my God, yeah. Wait, what is her disability?
She lost her leg on the moon.
Oh my God.
And she makes herself a prosthetic leg on the moon.
Oh my God. I love that. I'm also a big Hiccup stan from How to Train Your Dragon. Just like more amputee rep. Let's see it.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have our moment. Sora goes through the rest of his hero's journey. Donald is especially devastated when Sora stabs himself in the chest. Donald is like, Sora, come back, Sora! Like, he really cares for Sora at that point.
What a turnaround. What an arc for that little duck.
Little duck. And then, you know, Sora comes back. Donald and Goofy escort Kairi throughout most of the Hollow Bastion Castle, which is very nice of them. Also, like, they care about Kairi. They don't, by extension, they're like, if Sora's dead, which at this point they kind of feel like he is, they're there to make sure she's okay.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's like they're like, that's our dead friend's girlfriend. Like, we're going to be nice to her for the rest of time, you know?
We're going to help her raise her kids.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Whatever she needs, man. And then, you know, they see a Heartless. They're like, stand back. This is dangerous. Kairi recognizes it as Sora. Sora's back. It's great. At this point, character development for Donald and Goofy pretty much done.
Gotcha.
You know, like, one of the things that I think is really cool, having recently replayed Kingdom Hearts 1's final boss gauntlet,
right,
is, you know, Donald and Goofy get scooped up and kidnapped for like a good chunk of those fights. And what's really kind of fun, especially for Donald, is you go through these different portals on this giant Heartless spaceship that Ansem's piloting, and it's got a big face, and it's very cool. But you go into these weird little pocket dimensions with these big Heartless logos on the ground, and it's all dark and scary in there, and you have to get your friends back. And it's like you're fighting all these Heartless alone. It's, again, really like evocative because there's these dark shadow Heartless eyes just peering at you from the dark black. And then you hear like, Sora, I'm over here, Sora, and you're like saving your friends, and it's nice. It's like it's a really fun kind of full circle moment for, you know, like Sora and specifically Donald to just come back to each other in this nice way.
Yeah, it's a moment where they really choose. They're like, hey man, I'm over here. Like, when you're doing your thing, we're, you know, like, we're a team. Yeah.
And then in the final, you know, culmination, closing this door, Sora runs up to the door and like Donald and Goofy are right there helping him close the door. And Mickey's on the other side. And especially for Donald, that's so unfortunate because it's like my whole mission was to find the king and he's right there and he's telling me that I got to close the door on him. And a good soldier, a good Navy officer following orders, he's like, you know what? I don't agree with it, but I trust my king. I trust my best friend. Ooh, side tangent.
Yeah.
Why are Mickey and Donald best friends? What do they get from each other?
You know what it is? I think they met in the Navy.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're both sailors. I think they met in the Navy and they like bonded
Steamboat Willie. Oh.
Through like the theater of war.
That's so cute. And then it's like a moment where Donald's like, what are you going to do after this? And Mickey's like, I'm going to go buy a boat.
Well, I mean, or it's, what are you going to do after this? It's like, well, actually, I'm in line to inherit the throne of this entire world.
And so, Donald's like, awesome.
You want to be one of my courtiers?
It would be my honor, Your Majesty. Or it's like when George Washington at the end of Hamilton, like Act 1 is like, I need you to come with me. He's like, treasury or state?
I got to get my right hand duck back.
Sir, do you want me to run the Treasury or State Department? Let's go. Anyway, so that's Kingdom Hearts 1. And at the very end, we close the door, we seal everything, the day is saved, and we walk down this country road, and we're looking for the king and Riku again. Yeah.
And, in that scene, Donald does seem to have a little bit more hope.
He does.
Like, the entire time, he's like, we're on a mission, we're having duty. And at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, he's like, as long as I have friends that are helping me, maybe it will be okay.
Yeah, he becomes like less of a grump.
Yeah.
Like the power of Sora is to degrumpify that duck a little bit.
Yep.
Not enough, but a little bit. Hello. Thank you again so much for listening to Simple and Clean, a Kingdom Hearts podcast. I hope you're enjoying us yap about Donald Duck. I am here once again to yap in your ear about the fact that we have a Patreon. It's Simple and Clean Pod on Patreon. You can sign up for the $5 final mix tier, which will also include bonus episodes. That's right, we're doing bonus episodes. They're called the Secret Reports. Right now, we're yapping about a little game called Dispatch. Dispatch is a game that I wrote on and I voice a character in. So if you want to hear us yap about that over there, we're also going to talk about Final Fantasy, JRPGs, other stuff, presumably, that we're really excited about. Just other games that we love and want to recap and yap about for a little bit. So if you want to support the show, which is produced entirely by Mischa and I. Mischa edits every single episode. If you want to send us some love and sign up for that delicious, delicious bonus content, you can sign up for the final mix tier on Patreon at Simple and Clean Pod. It's just $5. If you cannot support the show monetarily, which we totally understand, share the show with a friend. Leave a review. Leave comments and quips on Patreon. Send us messages in a bottle on Instagram. Engage with the show. Tell us what you love. Tell us what you hate. Tell us what you want to see us talk about or improve on in the future. As you all know, Simple and Clean Pod is part of the Multitude Podcast Collective, a collective of podcast creators and experts doing shows talking about things they're passionate about. Shows such as This Guy Sucked. This Guy Sucked is a history podcast for haters by haters. Join historian Dr. Claire Aubin and a new expert every week to pull back the scholarly curtain on some of the world's biggest bummers. No dead person is safe, and the show's guests prove that the best part of understanding the past is criticizing it, such as people like Christopher Columbus, who I personally can't stand. You can listen to that episode and other delicious episodes every Thursday wherever you listen to podcasts. From Charlemagne to Carl Schmitt, every episode gives listeners all the ammo they need to win dinner table arguments over why history's main characters were actually kind of the worst. You can listen to This Guy Sucked wherever you listen to your podcasts. New episodes every Thursday wherever you listen. And just before I let you go, I wanted to take this last second to thank one of our sponsors for this episode, Gender Free World Clothing. Gender Free World Clothing was founded in 2015 by a little group of like-minded individuals who passionately believe that we all have the right to wear well-fitting clothing which suits our style choices. People's bodies are all different. In addition to height and size, there are variations in hips, bottoms, shoulders, and chest sizes. One size does not always fit all. After extensive research, Gender Free World Clothing has created shirts in 4 body-shaped templates: the Alex, the Billy, the Charlie, and the Drew. And these ranges accommodate those different variations. The Alex is for wider hips, the Billy is for larger busts, the Charlie is for shoulders and hips in similar proportion, and the Drew is for those with broad shoulders, narrow hips, and longer bodies. No matter how you're shaped, you're sure to find a style that is going to suit you. If you're interested in shopping with Gender Free World, they are offering 12% off with our code SIMPLE12 at checkout on your first order. That's SIMPLE12 for 12% off on your first order. So to get yourself something nice, you can go over to gfwclothing.com. That's gfwclothing.com for 12% off your first order with our code SIMPLE12. And then we get to Chain of Memories, and it's so interesting because Donald and Goofy as characters, for the majority of the games after this, kind of stay in their place. Like,
yeah, they don't really have arcs.
Yeah, there's a moment in Kingdom Hearts 2, which we will discuss, that is mostly predominantly focused on Goofy.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty harrowing part.
Oh, man.
And we will get there. We will get there.
Okay.
But Donald does get, like, pretty upset. Mickey more so. But Donald pretty upset.
Yeah. Donald rushes to his side. Like,
I know.
Mickey's all, like, vengeance immediately.
They'll pay for this.
They'll pay for this. And he jumps into combat. But Donald's the one who stays by Goofy's side and will not leave.
And that's the support.
Yeah.
That's the mage in him. But we'll talk about that at a later date. But it is an absolutely bizarre, intense, random side tangent in Kingdom Hearts 2. But first, we have to talk about Chain of Memories.
Maybe the best line in Kingdom Hearts 2 is, they'll pay for this.
They'll pay for this. It's great.
So good.
But in Chain of Memories, we have them revisiting old worlds, Donald and Goofy becoming increasingly concerned about Sora. And Donald, I think, is the first one to kind of raise those concerns of like, Sora, you're getting a little obsessive about this girl named Naminé. Kind of, again, being the, not antagonistic force, but like a challenging force to Sora. So holding him accountable.
Yeah. It's like, man, we already swore an oath to take care of your girlfriend last one. How many girlfriends you got, kid?
How many girlfriends you got, man? And that's when Sora kind of rejects them both and runs off on his own and gets into a toxic cycle of...
Oh, sure. The minute Donald Duck finally starts talking reason, that's when Sora tunes out.
He's like, I'm out of here. I can't hear you no more. Can't hear you quacking from the other side of this door. But all is forgiven at the end, and they come back to themselves, and Donald and Goofy agree to again also enter these pods by which Sora will get his memories back.
Yeah. Now, why were Donald and Goofy in the pods?
I think it's because all of Sora's memories were getting rearranged. I think by extension, because Sora has all of these memories specifically focused on Donald and Goofy exclusively in that order, I think that there's a lot of stuff that also probably got messed up for them too.
Sure. But they didn't put Kairi in a pod. They didn't put Riku in a pod.
No. But they're not in the castle.
Riku's in the castle.
Riku is in the castle. But does real Riku's memories get messed with? Because his journey is more so about like dealing with this phantom Ansem he's dealing with. Did his memories get messed up too?
That's right. Riku never really loses his memories.
No, because he's not a part of that part of the scheme.
Right. No, but what I'm saying is like, did Donald and Goofy only get put in the pods because they were like there when Sora was getting in his?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think that's a really good point.
I don't know.
That's a really good point. I think because Sora is so intrinsically tied to Donald and Goofy, and because by extension, it is sort of Sora's fault that they're in the castle too. I mean, they're all on the same mission.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
It's a little weird, especially because like for a big chunk of Chain of Memories, Donald and Goofy like are cards that you can play in combat, but are not like active characters you can interact with for a good chunk while Sora's dealing with his stuff. His angst. But yes, while 358/2 is happening, they're all in their pods getting their memories back. And then in Kingdom Hearts 2, they awaken and everyone's very excited. Their memories are back. They're doing a little jump around circle. It's very nice. It's very cute.
Yay.
Yeah, it's great. It's a really lovely, especially coming off of the harrowing tutorial section of Kingdom Hearts 2. It's nice to get your boys back. The boys are back in town.
Cracking open a cold memory pod with the boys.
It's fucked up. Oh, man. Oh, you know what I just thought of, too? It's a bummer that Donald and Goofy don't get, like, a themed Keyblade for Sora. They get fusion forms.
Well, and they also get their own weapons.
It's true.
Throughout the games.
They do. It's very fun, but it's like, man, it's a bummer that there isn't like a Donald Keyblade or a Goofy Keyblade.
Yeah, or like a Trinity Keyblade.
Yeah, there is that one that has the stars on it. Like there's like a green, blue, yellow star Keyblade. But yeah, that's just a side tangent.
No, that's fair. But
yeah.
I think that because Donald like has his wizard staff and you get versions of that the same way you get versions of the Keyblade, like he had his own thing that also got aesthetic reskins and stuff. So
it's so
okay.
fun. Donald's base rod is a little witch hat with a little guy's face. It's really cute.
Yeah.
And recently got very expensive light up merch.
Ooh, yeah, I
It's
saw
like
that.
$90. It's gorgeous. So then we're in Kingdom Hearts 2. And it's kind of interesting. There's this little added characterization in Kingdom Hearts 2 specifically, which is that Donald's obsessed with treasure.
Yeah.
He loves treasure. He's getting into fights with Abu about a diamond in,
Yeah, they like that moment in Aladdin where Abu fucks up the Cave of Wonders, Donald gets it and then the two of them fight about the ruby.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's
funny.
very silly. And then also they make a joke at his expense when they go to Pirates of the Caribbean world about you'd probably fall for the Aztec curse.
Yeah.
He's offended by that. It's kind of weird because Donald in the Disney canon is a very ambitious character. He wants things in his life, but I don't know if it's he loves money. That's Scrooge's thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's Scrooge's thing. So he is the lore of Donald Duck has ties to greed, but it's 100%. Not one-to-one the way that Kingdom Hearts 2 would have you believe. You're right.
I know, it's kind of weird, and I think it's because Scrooge is there, so maybe they just had Scrooge on the brain, and they're let's put that in there too, I guess.
What world is the money bin on?
Oh, the money pool, the money pool that Scrooge swims in. What I think it's in Hollow Bastion.
Yeah,
yeah, because one, they have the real estate. And two, it's the only place we see Scrooge McDuck.
That's true.
And Huey, Dewey, and Louie are in Hollow Bastion in Kingdom Hearts 2 as well.
All right.
You know what's kind of interesting, too, is I was thinking about this earlier today as well, is Donald is Huey, Dewey, and Louie's uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Scrooge is Donald's uncle.
Yep.
But Huey, Dewey, and Louie call Scrooge Uncle Scrooge.
What are they going to call him? Grunkle?
Great Uncle Scrooge.
Grunkle Scrooge?
Grunkle Scrooge.
That's too much of a mouthful,
That's too many things. But I was wait a second. They can't both be the uncle. And then I looked it up and I was okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to get into it, DuckTales 2017 establishes that his life as an adventurer has led him to magically prolong his life. And he's 200 or something years old.
Scrooge is?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That rocks.
Yep.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. I think that's cool for them. So then, you go through Kingdom Hearts 2. Donald's doing shenanigans. It is kind of funny how much the Disney part of Kingdom Hearts becomes the fun, cool thing that's happening. Mm-hmm. And I think Mickey takes on a much bigger role in the plot and as his own kind of Kingdom Hearts Mickey is a very unique Mickey.
Yeah. Well, and it's because they lifted the restrictions they had on the first game,
100%.
Right? In the first game, it's so clear that he had to haunt the narrative, but they could only use him in one scene.
They were only allowed to use him in one scene.
But in Kingdom Hearts 2, Mickey's fully there.
He's fully there. And so I think by extension, Donald and Goofy, exclusively in that order, take a little bit of a narrative backseat. Again, they're there to support Sora, but they're doing there's less going on with them. There's bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, I would say the one place where they focus more on the Donald and Goofy of it in relation to Mickey is Timeless River, right?
That's exactly right. So Timeless River is kind of where we crack the Disney castle world wide open. It was so heartbreaking when you would look at the map of the worlds in Kingdom Hearts 1 and Traverse Town's the start and you can see the Disney world and you just can't do it, but it's there. And then you get to fly to Disney Castle in Kingdom Hearts 2 and it's awesome. And you're helping Minnie get to the throne room. And then you get down to this weird spooky basement part. And there's this thing called the Cornerstone. Yeah. Which is this magical nexus in a ball, which kind of also looks a lot like the magical ball in Naminé's room. They're not the same ball, different ball.
But that's interesting.
It is interesting. But it's this kind of the DNA / crux of existence of Disney Castle.
Yeah, it's Disney Castle has a specific reason why it has more light than other worlds.
And it's because of this weird cornerstone thing. And Maleficent is back and is trying to take over Disney Castle and do her revenge quest thing.
It really is just those motherfuckers think they have light. I will take their light away.
She's so pissed.
So revenge. It's not even for anything.
It's just they all hated me. But you go down to this basement and there's these spooky black thorns and they call Merlin. Well, what's so funny is they don't call Merlin. They get in the ship to go get Merlin to immediately go back to Disney Castle.
Do. It's so weird.
It's just quit. We'll be right back. It's so silly. Anyway, but Merlin's okay, cool. There's something wrong with the cornerstone. You have to go go through this magical door that has appeared out of nowhere. And it kind of looks like the door from the tutorial of Kingdom Hearts 1, but it's not. And you open it, and it takes you to the Timeless River, which is a world within the Disney Castle world.
It's like, yeah, I mean, it's in the past.
It's in the past. And so Donald and Goofy canonically then have been alive for a very long time because they remember this like old time. And one of the things they explicitly tell Sora is do not influence anything in there because it is time travel rules now. We're in not Kingdom Hearts time travel rules. We're in straight up Back to the Future time travel rules.
This is Timeless River is the one glaring exception to Kingdom Hearts' time travel rules. I'm very excited to talk about it later.
I am too. I will reserve my bigger wax poetic about Timeless River because I think as a choice to put this in Kingdom Hearts 2, it's absolutely inspired. Mm-hmm. But Pete is there, and Donald and Goofy are like, oh, right, he used to not be bad.
All right, he used to just kind of be a jerk, not actively evil.
Not actively evil and standing Maleficent in a crazy way. But yeah, you explore Timeless River, and it's, again, there's so many design decisions there that are just incredible.
Yeah, the form change, especially for Donald, honestly, the way that they, like, changed the shape of his face to look like the classic cartoons, like, for Donald's design especially, they really popped off.
They really popped off. But so you complete that world and you don't meddle in the affairs of the past and you stabilize the cornerstone and you continue on to do more Kingdom Hearts 2 things. And yeah, that is kind of the deepest well we get into with Donald and Goofy in Kingdom Hearts 2. Besides a very important part for Goofy specifically, which again, we will talk about in the Goofy episode or the Kingdom Hearts 2 recap episode, probably both. We finish Kingdom Hearts 2. Donald and Goofy are there in the final battle, not the final battle, of which is reserved exclusively for Sora and Riku.
Gay.
But it's really powerful and beautiful. And then we get into Coded.
Well, so at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2,
yes,
like they get trapped in the dark realm,
beach.
Sora and Riku do, and then Kyrie's letter opens up a portal and they fly back to Destiny Island. And then Donald and Goofy are there.
They're there. Everyone's there. And Mickey's there. And like, it's great. And I think that like, I mean, you're right. It's one of those moments where you're like, I'm glad this is here. But it's the first time we've seen Donald and Goofy rendered in HD.
Oh, that's right.
And the scale especially is really weird.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, how tall is Donald, would you say? Like, if Sora's like 5'10".
You think Sora's 5'10"?
How tall do you think Sora is?
Not 5'10".
Not 5'10"? No. How tall do you think Sora is?
I think he's like 5'4", 5'5".
Oh, you think he's like pixie size?
No, I think he's teenager size. He's not fully grown yet.
That's fair. I guess, you know what? And again, this is just a question that's occurring to me right now. But yeah, like, so then Donald is probably what, like 2.5 feet tall?
Yeah, like 3 feet tall, yeah.
He looks huge in the final cutscene next to Sora's teenage boy-sized head.
Yeah.
But they're excited to see him. Again, like Donald and Goofy exclusively in that order, but Donald and Sora especially, like the relationship between the two of them in Kingdom Hearts going into Kingdom Hearts 2, they love each other so much by that point. And it's really special.
Real comrades in arms by that point.
They've gone through the fucking gauntlet together.
They trust each other. Like, they don't even have to talk about it. Like,
no.
they're just in it.
Yeah.
And then I think it's interesting to think about that, like, okay, they have that lovely moment where they're all hugging at the shoreline and it's beautiful and like vestiges of Roxas and Naminé are also smiling in the sunlight. And they have like a really nice hug. And then Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, exclusively in that order, climb in their gummy ship and they're like, all right, we're about to head out.
Yeah.
Catch you later. And then they fly
we'll see
away.
You later. Bye. But I mean, it's like everyone's back where they're supposed to be. Like Kingdom Hearts 2, in a world where Kingdom Hearts 2 did not sell well, which there's no world where that wasn't going to happen because Kingdom Hearts 2 is such an incredible game. Like, they really put their whole ass into that game.
Seriously.
Like, the world choices, the design choices, the fusion forms. There's so much good design going on in Kingdom Hearts 2. So, of course, there's going to be more game, but it would make sense. It's like, okay, cool. Everyone's back where they're supposed to be. That's kind of it.
Donald just slaps his duck knees and goes, all right, I'm about to head out.
Time to head out. I'll do a brief send up also in Kingdom Hearts 2 fashion to Donald's specific fusion form with Sora, which I think is called Wisdom Form.
Wisdom Form.
And it's blue, and Sora can float and fly, and he has floating little magic, like, projectiles.
Yeah, shoot style.
Yeah.
But not like that.
Not like that. Not like that. But it's really cool. And also one of the Hot Topic merch pieces is the Wisdom Form zip-up.
Oh, that was one of the ones that caught my eye.
It's really pretty.
The blue version of Sora's clothes are great. Yeah, it boosts your magic. It boosts all of your magic stuff. It's like the magic form.
Yeah.
It gives you quick run, which you should get early if you can, because it makes the whole game run a lot faster if you have it early. It's just smooth.
These are good things to know. And then we move on to Coded. We'll talk very briefly about Coded.
All right.
Because we haven't talked about Coded on this show much at all. And there's a reason for that.
And that's that it's not really a game.
It's not really a game. But Donald and Goofy, they're back at the castle. And
that's right, because the frame of Coded is that Mickey's going through the data. So they're in Disney Castle the whole time.
They're in Disney Castle, and Data Sora, who's inside Coded, is his own character. And he's going through his own kind of existential crisis and mission.
Well, the same way that, like, the Riku replica kind of becomes his own guy in Chain of Memories. Like, we're learning that, like, just because you were made out of a copy of a guy doesn't mean you're not your own person.
Exactly. But Donald and Goofy appear very briefly in, like, the Data version of Hollow Bastion and help Data Sora fight against Pete and the Heartless. And then they appear again kind of briefly in Dream Drop Distance. As the games progress, one of the interesting things that starts to happen is, especially for the handheld games, ally characters just fall off design philosophy completely.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what was the start of it. I think it was 358.
Okay.
Because you play as Roxas, and Roxas does not have really any companions with him. There's like moments where Axel and Shion are there, but they're not functioning in the same way mechanically as Donald and Goofy were. Mm-hmm. You're just playing as Roxas, and that's kind of it. Like, you're responsible. You're your own one-man band. And I mean, it, like, Chain of Memories also does it, but like the ally cards and the design around that kind of feels like you have allies.
Yeah,
they're just like being sent out in a different way.
Yeah, like the like Donald and Goofy cards get shuffled into your deck.
Yeah, so you like summon them for things.
Yeah, it turns them into summons, not party members.
Yeah, like but every character aside from Sora functions that way. Mm-hmm. It's weird, but like the difference there is that like they are also like narratively there. It's
they
weird.
Like pop out of the cards for cutscenes and then become cards again once you go.
It's like Pokemon rules. It's weird. But yeah, so like Dream Drop Distance, you play as Sora and Riku in like varying succession, but they are fighting by themselves. They're entering the slumbering worlds by themselves because they're doing their mastery exam, but they are present in the mysterious tower, which is Yen Sid's residence for the exam.
Because Yen Sid has called together like the scholars of magic to see what to do about the coming conflict or whatever.
Exactly. But
let me call my council of trusted advisors. Donald Duck, get in here.
But a specific version of Donald does appear because one of the slumbering worlds is the Three Musketeers world.
Right.
And Three Musketeers, it's funny because I loved this DVD. I watched the fuck out of this DVD. But it's interesting because the way that it's considered one of the 100 Disney animated films. Mm-hmm. I believe it did have a brief theatrical release, but it was predominantly a DVD vehicle. Mm-hmm. But it is a full-length feature animated film. Donald in that one's bag is that he's kind of the coward of the group.
Right, which fits with other portrayals.
Yeah, he's like, Donald is either like a skeptic or like kind of the wet blanket or the one who's like, I stay in my comfort zone because anything outside of my comfort zone makes me upset. So Sora enters that world and kind of does the plot of that movie, and the thing in that one is like Donald faces his fears. Mm-hmm. And then we get back into the final stuff in where nothing gathers. That's the world's name.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Yeah, they come in at the last second to knock down Xehanort's guardian.
Right. So at a certain point in Dream Drop Distance, they sort of pivot away. They're like, oh, this test got interrupted because Xehanort's doing a villain cloth.
He's doing
Shit.
fuck shit in there.
I guess we better get in there. Shit.
Yeah, time to help. And then in the secret ending, Goofy and Donald are, like, wow, that was crazy. Riku comes to the mysterious tower and they're like, oh, you were on an errand. And Riku has brought Kairi.
Cool.
And so that's kind of the setup for like Kairi getting brought in for her training and different things like that.
Yeah.
Then we get into Kingdom Hearts 3. Donald and Goofy are, again, right there helping you do your thing. They're trying to help you.
We left you alone for your test and you failed.
You failed.
We got to help out, man.
Not only that, you're back at level 1 again, my guy. How did that happen? We're going to help you get the power of waking because boy, oh boy.
Because it's crunch time, dog. We
got like the plot is plotting, sort of, but not really.
We gotta
go. But yeah, so they go through all the different worlds. They're doing Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff. Again, it's crazy how Kingdom Hearts 3 is so much not a game about that.
It's more so than other games. The Disney stuff is just completely on its own from the plot, and like you just do it. And then later, the Kingdom Hearts plot happens.
Exactly. They do like come with you to Destiny Islands when you go and rescue Aqua. They don't go in with you, but they're there when you come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, oh, great. You did it.
And then presumably she comes out and they go, Aqua.
Yeah. And she goes like, oh, right.
All right. You guys from 10/80 million years ago.
One or the other, but it probably 10 years ago.
20 Jeremy Baramies ago.
Yeah. It really do be Jeremy Baramying a lot in this vibe.
Yeah.
And then we get into like end game stuff, which is where the iconic sequence happens. There is a big Xehanort Terra threat situation. Sora and Donald are getting, and Goofy, exclusively in that order, getting knocked around a little bit. Terra Xehanort or Xehanort Terra Xehanort goes after Kairi. Sora runs to embrace her to take the hit. Donald does Zettaflare.
Donald says, enough's enough. This war, I've just about had it. I know that my teachers told me never to use this one. I know that Yen Sid is probably afraid. But if ever there was a time to use the most powerful spell in Final Fantasy universe, it was
now.
Zettaflare!
It's so cool, and it knocks him out. He gave up all of it. I like to think, because I was making this joke to David earlier, I was like, where was this energy in all my fights? Where was this energy for any other threat we've faced?
Well, so that's the thing. See, here's what's interesting about this moment in Kingdom Hearts 3. As he like summons his power and like a circle incantation thing appears under his feet.
It's a beautiful glyph.
Yes, it's
super
a glyph. That's
cool
what it
glyph,
is.
Yeah.
And Goofy sees that happening, and he goes, Donald, don't.
Yeah.
Now, when does you think Goofy has seen Donald cast Zettaflare before and knows how powerful it is and knows how dangerous it is enough to warn Donald in the moment not to do it?
Okay, so we know canonically that they were in Birth by Sleep. There were bad things going on. There were the Unversed. Xehanort and Ansem were doing some fuck shit at that point. I like to think that Mickey, because Mickey was traveling to these different worlds doing stuff. So they probably encountered a Xehanort or a Ansem, and Donald used Zettaflare.
Yeah.
And it was dangerous. And then he almost died. And then Mickey and Donald had to transport him away from the conflict. And maybe Xehanort, Ansem Xehanort disappeared and was like, ha ha ha, you're too weak, blah, blah, blah. Whoo. Yeah. And they're like, Donald, are you okay? And like that was the moment where Ansem Xehanort got away. And if Donald hadn't used Zettaflare, maybe the plot of the rest of the Kingdom Hearts games never would have happened.
Yeah. Yeah. See, now if we want to get real with it, I think that they were in training together. Mickey and Goofy and Donald and Della.
Oh, no. Don't hurt my feelings this way.
All right, I shan't.
No, do it.
And in their recklessness, because they were just learning, just like Doctor Strange, like Donald snuck into the Yensid's library late at night to learn the more advanced spells because he thought, I'm Donald Duck. I can handle it.
And Mickey did the same thing, Sorcerer's Apprentice style. And it's like, you should have learned from my mistakes.
And I think he cast Zettaflare and something happened to Della, and that's why she's not around. And that's why in this world he's watching over Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Although he isn't, but like, yes.
I mean, he is and he's not. It's so interesting.
And so they've matured. They've risen to official stations. They've raised kids. They're now adults. They have a better capacity. But Goofy in that moment remembers the only time that he cast Zettaflare was when Della disappeared. And he says, Donald, don't. Something bad like that can happen again. But this time, Donald's mastered it. And this time, Donald knows that Zettaflare is only to be used in the most dire circumstances, just like this. And he uses it the right way for the first time.
He does, but in that, he becomes weak.
Yes.
There's this dark tornado of Heartless and all these things. And in this kind of chaos last act conflict, Donald and Goofy lose their hearts, as well do the rest of the Guardians.
Yeah.
And Sora has to get them back, which he does because he's Sora. But that's like that's kind of Donald's big moment in 3.
Yeah.
That's like kind of the biggest, coolest thing that he does. And then Sora does his hero stuff. He sacrifices himself. He saves everybody. And then we kind of see these panning shots of where everybody ends Kingdom Hearts 3. And we'll talk about this more. Like, we'll get into the whole get and caboodle of Kingdom Hearts 3. But, like, everyone who's from Disney Castle is back at Disney Castle. And, you know, celebrating with fireworks. And the day is saved. And then Sora, by extension, is celebrating back on Destiny Islands. And that's kind of the last moment before he disappears.
Yep.
And then a year later, Donald and Goofy agree to take up the search. You know, it's been a year of peace, and they're going to go search for Sora. And that's where we get to with Kingdom Hearts 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they are in the teaser.
They are in the teaser. If you watch the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, the only Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer that we have so far, you watch to the very end and you see beautiful HD, gorgeous CG.
Those models are so crisp.
They're so crisp.
Unreal Engine 5. Mwah.
It's gorgeous. And they're looking for Sora. It's funny because all of these games, they've been looking for Riku, they've been looking for Kairi, they've been looking for Mickey, and now everyone's searching for Sora. And Donald and Goofy are right there as a part of that.
Yep.
So that's Donald Duck in the Kingdom Hearts games. He also has like little appearances like mascot style in the mobile games,
sure.
But like that's, you know. But yeah, that's Donald. Mischa, what do you think of Donald? This is definitely probably the first unserious
character
that we have to, but we have to.
I know. I think that if everything Donald Duck does in Kingdom Hearts was portrayed by like an original Final Fantasy character in a Final Fantasy game.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like the curmudgeon that uses officiousness to be callous until he has a change of heart and realizes
Great
that, like,
word. I've never heard that word before.
Thank you.
Officious. What? Officiousness?
Yeah, officious.
That's cool. Oh, like as in official?
Like of one station, yeah.
That's so funny. I saw it as like efficious, like EFFICIOUS.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's that word? Anyway, continue.
But that, you know, someone who really is like, well, I'm the court magician and I've been given a vital mission by my king. And then over the course of the Final Fantasy game has that change of heart where he switches sides. Like, I think that'd be a beloved character. Mm-hmm. And so, like, you really just have to look past the fact that it's Donald Duck from Disney.
I know.
But also that, like, it is interesting to see, like, where that character does line up with Disney Donald Duck and where it doesn't.
Oh,
like,
100%.
The idea that, you know, like Donald would have easily also fitted the slot of Captain of the Guard in the tank.
Yeah.
Like narratively, but that Goofy couldn't have been the mage, but Donald could be the mage because he's got depth. So like Donald had a little bit more flexibility in where they put him. For a game with such complicated lore and exposition dumps, they sure do give a lot of lines to a guy who can't talk good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's interesting too.
100%. It's funny. I saw some quotes from like back in the day where the animators for Donald were talking specifically about his voice, and they refused to describe the exact way you're supposed to use your mouth to do Donald's voice. It's like proprietary.
Yeah, it's a trade secret.
It's a trade secret. You just do your best guess at it.
And we didn't even cover how often Donald's looking for ingredients in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
This might be a good place to find some ingredients. Or whatever.
That was closer to like Stitch, I feel like.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're cousins, like in terms of voice acting stuff. Yeah, Donald, it's so funny because I might be just so deep in the shit that I'm like, Donald being here, yeah, that makes sense. Like, he's fun. It's funny. Like, there's so many memes, or there's so much like beloved weird clowning of Donald, of like being the one to get downed constantly.
And from a tradition of storytelling perspective, let's talk a little bit about the importance of stock characters.
Oh my God, yeah. Commedia dell'arte. Let's get into it.
So like the idea that you don't have to spend a lot of time, like beyond the first game, you don't have to spend a lot of time explaining how Donald Duck feels about things happening in front of him, because you put him there and you tell the audience he's in this situation and he's Donald Duck. You know grumpy. Donald. You know exactly how Donald Duck would react. And you do, and it meets expectations so that you can kind of move on and fit more story into your story.
100%.
That's really important.
I totally agree. I will also say, like, there is something to the idea of a character so iconic. Everybody knows his deal.
Yeah.
Like, there are a few, I mean, like, you have Homer, you have, like, Family Guy, you have certain characters that you go, like, I think I know what that guy's about. Like, we've had Donald for, again, almost 100 years.
Yeah.
We know how he's going to respond. And that just comes down to, as you said, like, really strong, really clear characterization. And it's like, some people may kind of laugh at that and go, like, what a simple, silly thing. But, like, clear characterization is incredibly hard to do. And most people fail to like lock in, right? And also at this juncture in our media culture, there's very few stones that have yet to be unturned. Mm-hmm. But I would say that like a grumpy, angry guy, we've seen that before. But like specifically Donald Duck is like, that is unique to him. Like his interpretation of it is all his own.
And grumpy in a way that is endearing, where the grumpier he gets, the more we love him.
Oh my God, yeah. And there's very few characters like, I'm going to get so weirdly political for just like a second, but like as a Black woman, you know, there's some baggage with anger, you know, and also anger as an emotion, I think, is one of the core, like it's one of the core emotions. But I think anger is the one that is hardest to hold space for.
Yeah.
Like even I'd say sadness we're probably more comfortable with than anger. But like having a guy who's so like, what is it? Like raw nerve. He's so raw nerve, but he's also so harmless. Like there's something in his anger that's almost endearing.
Yeah, it's always impotent anger. It's always anger because he's stuck in a situation he can't change except by shouting at it. You know, he's exhausted all of their options.
He can't even, like the shouting doesn't even really change it either. It's just like the expression. Like you and me both, bro.
Yeah.
And he's a little guy.
And you know what just occurs to me? That Donald is constantly suppressing his rage. Mm-hmm. And so that buildup of energy inside him is what allows him to be powerful enough to cast Zettaflare.
100%. But yeah, that's our boy, our sweet little white feathered, little cutesy tail, ploppy feet, big build boy.
Yeah.
And we love him.
It wouldn't be Kingdom Hearts without him.
It wouldn't be. Sora, Donald, and Goofy, exclusively in that order.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's our guy. Thank you so much for going on this duck journey with me. Thank you for paddling beneath the lake with me.
Yeah.
Trying to stay afloat.
Constantly.
Oh, man. And never more so than right now in our lives, I'd say. But that's thank you so much for listening to Simple and Clean. If you like what you're hearing, please let us know on Spotify. Please let us know on Apple Podcasts. Please let us know wherever you listen to your podcast. Leave us a review. Leave us a rating. Share this podcast with a friend. Find us over on Patreon. Hang out with us over there. Yeah.
And if somehow in your various internet commenting, you could do it in a Donald Duck voice, I'd be very impressed.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I feel like we're gonna get a lot of weird voice memos now.
Awesome.
But you know what? I'll take it. But yeah, like we're over on Instagram. I think we're probably gonna start dipping our toes in a Blue Sky and TikTok.
We just want to be places where people can talk to us.
100%.
People talk to us.
We love Kingdom Hearts, and we love to see y'all loving it with us. Yeah, so thanks for going on this journey. And as always, may your heart be your guiding key.
May your heart be your guiding key.